Hey everyone, it's Tanin Teston with the Teston team brokered by eXp Realty. I want to talk to all the buyers out there who are going to be purchasing a home or in the process of purchasing a home or even already submitting offers on buying their next home. This is a tough competitive market, and I don't have to tell you that. So whether you're doing it yourself or you know someone who's out there trying to find their next home, we know it is very tough and very competitive. So the number one question that we are getting a lot from buyers is when they're going to put their offer in, they want to know, what should we do? What should we do to get our offer accepted? And it's a tough question because we as realtors, we know what you should do. We don't want you to do it because we don't want anybody to have to go through this and do this. But we know what it is going to take to get your offer accepted, and it's just very hard, a hard decision for us to make, a hard decision for you to make, because it's not a matter of what you do, it's more along the lines of what can you do? What can you financially do to win that offer? So one thing that buyers always want to know as well, and I'm sure you're all trained on this, it's out there everywhere saying, well, ask the sellers. Ask the sellers what they want, and that's what we'll give to them, right? That easy. Listing agents nowadays, the agents who do a lot of business, we know we're going to get a lot of phone calls. As soon as that property hits the market, our phone will be ringing nonstop. And the question is going to be, what can our buyers do to win this offer? So the agents have gotten smarter and they put it in realtor notes. This is not something accessible to buyers online through realtor.com or Zillow. This is something that we see on our end on the MLS. Realtors are putting in there, highest and best by this date, here's what our seller wants. And for the agents that are not putting that in there, if we call and ask them, what does your seller want? Well, guess what? Here's what they want. They want the highest and best offer. They want the least amount of financing contingencies, or no financing would be even better. They want the least amount of contingencies at all, appraisals, inspections. And if it's a vacant home, they want the quickest closing. So we know those are the four things that sellers are looking for when they put their house on the market. And the more that this market goes on like this, the seller's market, it's sad to say, but the sellers are wanting more and wanting more and wanting more. So with that being said, when we look at it from a buyer's perspective, what can we do to win this offer? Well, if you don't have cash, then let's take a look at your financing contingencies. What kind of financing contingencies do you have? How much money are you putting down? Could you dip into some other sort of savings that you have, or retirement, 401k, IRAs, to borrow from that, to use that towards a down payment or cover any appraisal gaps or waivers? Using that to contribute towards sellers' closing costs if needed. And then also looking at the home with the eyes of, okay, are your four major components in good condition? Your roofing, your AC, your electrical, your plumbing? Are those all relatively new or still under warranty that you could feel comfortable waiving any inspection contingencies? And then also looking at, even before starting your search, knowing what you have available, knowing what kind of extra funds you have set aside to help offset any of those appraisal contingencies or inspection contingencies, knowing that you may need to have some money set aside to fix certain items, knowing what you have in that nest egg set aside, and then looking at what your sales price is that you're going to be shopping for. And you can tell by a neighborhood, looking at what sold and what their list price was there a variance? Did you see an average, and your realtor should be able to tell you this, did you see an average of 3% more selling higher than what the actual list price was? Was it 5%, 10%? We've had some that are 15% higher selling than what they've listed for. So you can look at the neighborhood, look at the area, look at the aesthetics of the home, the upgrades, and see which homes have been selling for what percentage higher. And knowing, okay, They're averaging about 5 to 6% higher sold price versus what their list price is. Let's dial it back on what our maximum sales price is that we're looking at and dialing it back by 6 to 10%, because we know we're going to have to come up a little bit of different creatively to come up with a difference to make our offer hit where the past offers have been for similar homes in that neighborhood. So when it comes down to it, we know what you should do, but it's a matter of what can you financially do, and do you want to do that? Are you comfortable with that? Because what the sellers are looking for is highest and best, least amount of financial contingencies, and least amount of inspection contingencies, with closing as soon as possible if it's vacant. So I hope this helps. If you need some help crunching some more numbers, feel free to reach out to the Teston team, and we'll be here to help you with your next home.